As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. Jackass!
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Happy fucking Tuesday. Happy fucking June 12th. This is Pacific Experience. You are with PacX. PacX.
PacX?
PacX. PacX is
Never
with
have
you.
sex.
Yeah, we've already had a couple beers here, but thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. And we are on episode 9. This is episode 9. You can listen in at pacificexperience.podbean.com. You can also tag us on Facebook at PacX Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Austin, we have Austin here with us as always.
Consistent, like a marathon man. Back.
Every time.
Pacing it.
Austin, I think you're just pretty much
Gracing it.
you just co-host with me, man.
I'm down.
Just co-hosting, dude.
I'm here for
I mean,
you.
We're talking about it now. Yeah.
I'm here for these people.
Fuck yeah.
I'm here for myself, too.
They need you, man. They like you. They need you. I need you, man. I need you, man.
I
That's
want
true.
you.
I need you once a week. I need PacX.
PacX.
No, I can't say PacX.
Yeah.
Never have sex.
PacX. I can't say it anymore. So.
We're on the Pacific Experience.
Yeah, the Pacific Experience. But we do have a very special guest. Some of you tuned in to our new noise. By the way, our new noise is just a little audio clip of what is coming. It's kind of like a little, I don't know, a trailer. Trailer for what's coming up for the
tease?
next episode. Oh, a little, well, I don't know about a tease. I like
A little
teases.
insight.
Dude, I like teases, man.
Maybe like daily words of wisdom.
I don't know. I don't think. Well, you make the decision. You decide if it's wisdom or not. But right here we have with us Taylor Jones. Taylor, how are you doing?
I am very well. Thank you very much.
Excellent. How have things been? It's like you came in, you like started talking to me about PacX, and I hadn't spoken with you in quite some time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, mainly I've been just like working for the feds, actually.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Submarines.
what do you? Okay, submarines.
Exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
submarines. So, like Navy.
I work for the Navy.
Okay.
I have the pleasure of cleaning oil and shit tanks. That is my pleasure of the day.
Oil. Okay. Excellent.
And what's actually really interesting about it, fun fact I figured out from hanging out in the smoke shack with other fellow coworkers. They're
Smoke
like-
Shack. That's awesome. I've heard other Navy people talk about Smoke Shack, so it's like you're
Smoke Shack.
you're in it.
No, yeah, for sure. What's really interesting too.
We
We just so happen.
Smoke Shack. I'm getting excited. So, go on. I'm sorry. Go on. Smoke Shack.
Number one, we have the best smoke shack on the pier. No one else is even in near competition to ours. We get to stay away from everyone. We're all chill. Well, this one coworker informed me during a smoke shack sex.
Everybody's about the sex tonight.
I promise everyone listening in this room, there are not weird things on the wall. Okay, it's very weird here. I'm actually
There's a lot of body hormones going around.
Yeah, it's
all the time.
It's actually, we had to set up our recording spot in a really weird spot, and I was uncomfortable. But Austin just insisted, and there's a lot of weird things going on, and weird stuff happens every time before we podcast.
I take extra vitamins just to create more testosterone and estrogen on Tuesdays. So I'm just here to make things more volatile.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Vitamins.
Dude, I want to say I'm the one that like I go get a haircut, I go do push-ups and
Yeah,
shit.
you look
like,
clean as shit.
Like
you look well mannered.
Thank you. As if there's a video happening, but it's just audio. But I don't know. I still gotta go do like push-ups.
Yeah,
Like,
thank
make
God.
sure arms look good.
All right,
trim
guys.
the beard, go get a haircut. But it's just audio. But it still matters because people still see us.
Well, yeah, thank God they can't see me yet. But we're talking about smoke shacks.
Go on with the smoke shack.
shacks, man. I got very interesting news last week.
Okay.
Apparently, if I impregnate myself, I get 6 months freed vacation. Not saying I'm planning on doing it anytime, but as soon as I pop those fuckers out, 6 months, man.
Wait, so you work while you're
You
pregnant
just
and
got
then you
my
get
finger.
free 6 months?
Exactly. You leave when you're like 8 months pregnant, and then
Oh
you
my
get
God.
6 months full
This
paid.
is what the government pays for?
Yeah. Which
Oh,
honestly
man.
surprises me.
You got it made. So okay.
A lot of the times.
So you just need to have a lot of kids and
Well, pretty much like
taken care of.
if
Business.
if that was the case, man, you'd
Oh
become
my
like
God.
a paid surrogate, right? You got like a really
Dude,
good like
Octomom.
birthing canal or something.
Yeah, Octomom fucked it up.
Yeah,
she wasn't
dude.
a federal union worker.
Yeah, for sure.
She
dude.
could have made bank. She had... Jesus Christ.
Which honestly surprises me, actually. There's that much money just being thrown to and fro, like having that job. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, they really spend some money on some bullshit.
Yeah. Is it surprising though? So like you work from, like,
Yeah.
what's...
Well,
Are you busy 24/7?
nope. Nope. I sit around a lot. Get paid way too much, honestly. I'll be watching Lord of the Rings for like 2 hours, and nothing's
Nice.
happened.
Fuck yeah, dude. If I got paid to watch Lord of the Rings, God, that'd be a great job.
My precious.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Oh God. I already had it with the soundboard.
Well, Taylor, sounds like you're doing good then. It sounds like so that's up here in Puget Sound too. We have to let everyone know. Up here in the Pacific Northwest.
We don't want to give details because we don't want any of you looking us up,
of course.
you know, stalking us,
My
You
real
know,
name's
all-
not
all-
Taylor.
all that weird
sending
shit.
us
But-
thumbnail clippings.
Whoa. I don't know, Austin. Have you gotten anything weird?
Possibly. Who knows?
Oh.
Sound like you're
I
up to
think
something, man.
I think if not, I think he's insisting on something.
Maybe. Possibly. Used condoms.
Inside the shit tanks, you find used condoms.
This,
It is
Take it from
nuts.
Taylor. It's
It is nuts. You know,
This shit got
the
weird.
whole gay sailor thing. I don't really think it's cliche, man.
oh gosh, yeah, dude. Because these are submarines full of just men, right?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. They're out to sea 4 to 6 months or whatever the fuck.
oh,
Whatever.
dude, you
You're
gotta
in-
get a little gay.
You're in a vessel that's meant to sink.
You gotta get a little gay.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think that maybe that's what drives it. Is maybe they get this subprimal urge to where like
Oh.
my job is like if I get shot, like we're just drowning. So I might as well just
Oh,
fuck
fuck.
as much as I can. Honestly.
Holy shit! You know, I never really thought about all that.
You were right about the hormones throughout the
I
room.
Gosh,
What the fuck?
You know what? The PacX. Okay, we got a little weird here. We got a little weird. We got a little excited. You know, Austin's over here winking at me and shit. And I don't know if his shirt keeps. He's got like a well, I don't know. What is that? Sleeveless shirt? What? I have one too. I don't know. It's kind of
Tank
like.
top.
I don't know
It's
if
just
a tank top. I don't know if you're like intentionally
tank
like
top.
moving your muscles down.
No,
so
I'm
it's
just
kinda
eating a lot more
falling down
protein, I'm
here, you know,
bigger.
with, like your nipples pointing out or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyways.
It's the natural
Change-
human
change-
instinct taking in
Yeah, I
The
think,
pheromones.
I think that is happening.
between the chemistry between.
No, that's a fun little start.
It is.
It's
It
fun
is.
outside.
It's weird. It's weird. If you're listening to this, you're probably weird. You know what? That's fine. We love weird people. I love weird. Honestly, I think the more open about being weird you are, the better. Because I think everyone's a little fucking weird. I think everyone's not a little. I think everyone's really
Yeah.
fucking
We have
weird.
people in our
But we're
society
caught by
that
these
eat people.
egos where it's like, oh no, you don't say that. That's where it's like, no, but you know, everyone was just fucking thinking it.
I was just. Everyone's
it may not
thinking
be
it, man.
acceptable or appropriate in society. It may not be acceptable. That I get it. You know, there's roles to play sometimes. But you know, when we're all in here cracking some beers back, you know, I think
You get loose.
go.
You're allowed to
Get
get loose.
I don't know. I feel like I get
More
wound up.
truth comes out, the more beer you have.
No,
True.
everyone is kind of screwed up a little bit. I mean, a little bit.
But it's
Everyone.
things that cause us to be screwed up because we're so confused. Maybe we should.
So then there is no normal.
divided.
There is no normal.
You
If
know-
everybody's a little bit screwed up, there is no baseline for normal.
If everyone's unique, it's either everyone's unique or nobody is unique.
That's true.
I mean,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
We were one out of millions
It's in the eye of the
sperm that
beholder.
somehow impregnated the egg and popped into fucking existence. So are we special, or do we just beat? I mean, millions of sperm that died, and you were the one that survived. Like, are you really that cool, or were you?
Right.
Did you just hide in the building and then walked out the next day? It's like everybody's dead. Holy
Right.
shit, I'm still here.
I like to think of that Family Guy episode, man, where Stewie's like in like the spaceship,
Right,
with all the
yeah.
sperms, he's fighting them off to get there. Like, I like to think of it like that. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
exciting. Or
That's exciting.
There's a comedian that was talking about it. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Bill Burr, because it probably was.
I love him, man. He's
Dude,
great.
We've brought him up
Here's
a couple times on this podcast.
Dude, because he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's really good at what he does. He's very raw and real. He doesn't sugarcoat things, and he just has very normal experiences that he, portrays in a funny way. But if it was him, if it's not him, cool. Like, send me an email, get angry at me. But there's a comedian talking about like how it's like, oh, like when kids talk about like, oh, my child's so special or unique, blah blah. It's like, bitch, like that's one of millions of sperm that survived. Like, it's not that special. Like, that's called like mass production. Like, you shot out millions of sperm. This dude nutted millions of sperm inside of you, and one of them made a child. Like, there's something special, unique,
Odds are.
I think it's funny because like then you look at the
My-
more. I grew up Mormon, so I saw a bunch of families have 13 kids, and let me tell you, like, you want to think your sperm is unique, it's not. When you start having more than 4, 5, or 6 kids, you start getting into double digits. You start realizing, like,
Double
oh boy,
fucking digits.
like chromosomes are getting real close now. Like, Johnny and Abel, they're real similar and they're a little special, but the first 3 that we popped out, they were primo, and now our sperm's diluting and it's getting a little. It's just funny.
That's
It's just fucking funny.
That's too many. That's crazy.
And here's the thing, dude, because back in the day, we didn't have hygiene, we didn't have things to take care of us and prevent us from
Yeah.
disease and keep our wounds clean. So people fucked like animals for a reason, because it's meant to be alive.
Interesting thought about that I was having today. Now, this is going a little off base here. The thing about the fact that humans, the only thing they had to worry about, 400 years ago, 400 to way back when, the only thing they had to worry about was surviving, right?
I think about that a lot.
The only thing they had to worry about was wake up in the morning, go shoot a fucking deer, come back,
Your food,
put it on the
your
fire.
wife,
Your wife's made your baskets out of fucking cedar shit, It's all nice. Everyone's just surviving.
Keep going. I'm in paradise. Keep going.
But nowadays, what's going on is everyone, since we all, at least in the Western world, we all don't have to worry about surviving anymore. What we're worried about now, because odds are there's almost a guarantee you're going to get food. You're going to be at least semi-safe. There are so many different organizations out there to help you, people around. Odds are in Western world you're not going to die of starvation
At
or...
least you're speaking in terms of this country.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, there
Yeah.
are a lot of parts. There are a lot. To argue that there are a lot of parts where I think that maybe I feel like are targeted maybe, and to who's targeting them? You say government, whatever, whoever. The other bad guys, but I feel like some areas are targeted in the sense to where that is
Right.
happening.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I guess so my main point is I think that's why when you see a lot in younger generation what's going on right now, like a way more bigger population, people talking about like anxiety issues and being depressed in a day in day out basis. They don't feel like
Up with
like-
media and drugs and shit.
well, that's true too. But like overall, I feel like people back then they just had to worry about living. Now that like that's not like oh my god, I gotta pick berries today, otherwise I'm gonna starve to death. Like
living,
it's not relevant,
You mean living? You mean they had to worry about defending themselves against ways of dying naturally in nature.
Yeah.
Without.
Because it's
man-made-
unpredictable.
Without dying, I know, but now it's
You didn't realize if you got
to die
a
by man.
cut on your arm, be like, oh, I'm gonna put some, was it Neosporin on it, and just have a Band-Aid on it. It's like, no, they would just look at it and they'd grunt. Like, 3 weeks later, it's infested with maggots, and they're just like, they chop it off, and they. You're thinking that's what's funny.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
And now here we are,
Yeah.
our kids are like, oh man.
But
I don't have $5.75 for my lunch today.
Right,
How can I get
exactly.
2 pieces of pizza and a Coke? And I want to buy frozen yogurt
It's
later
still
with
is
berries
surviving.
with Carol from the cheerleading squad, and it's like that's high school life.
Yeah.
And then they're worried that their parents are buying them American Spirit packs,
Yeah.
$10 packs of cigarettes. Like
Right.
Jesus.
Oh, I gotta make sure I get a can of chew on the way
Yeah,
home.
so I like
need
the
$2
rag.
for gas.
That's
or whatever.
ridiculous.
Dude. But I mean,
God.
it's a catch-22 because back then people needed people to survive, right?
Well,
right?
now.
you need
No.
Yeah.
help. You needed help to survive, right? I need you to do that. I'm gonna go get the meat.
Right.
You build the fucking shelter.
It's physical
right?
trade.
And
Yeah.
and so you were trying to survive the test of nature by
Yeah.
using humanity, and now people are trying to survive the test of humanity by using nature.
Mm-hmm.
Bracelet.
Yeah.
I mean, really though, dude, I thought about it on the drive home today. I was driving home, beautiful drive, looking around, beautiful weather. It was bipolar weather. It was like rain, sad, fucking happy sun, and that's how I felt. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking happy. It's fucking sunny. And I was like, and it starts raining. I was like, well, I guess I should just go inside and clean. You know, I was like, damn it, Washington, no. And then that's when the sun came out, and I was like, okay, that's right, and saw some birds out and stuff, and then, you know, that's just kind of at least how it goes up here in the good old Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
But I was looking over at the Nature Man, and I was thinking how,
Nature Man. Who's the Nature Man?
The Nature Man.
Is he a neighbor of yours?
Do you know the Nature Man?
Do you know?
That's not Cherry Lane.
Austin, I thought you were the Nature Man.
Is he a naked
I was
dude that hangs
looking
out
at
in
you.
trees? Yeah, I am the Nature Man. No,
You are?
I enjoy it. I hike as often as I can. I
Oh,
did a
fuck
hike
yeah,
on Hood
you know
River.
that.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, where?
Hood River. It's called Cape Horn. If you say it too fast, it sounds like Cape Horn, like Gabe Horn.
Yeah.
But
Ooh.
no, Cape
Cape
Horn. Well, it was
I
great.
love Cape Horn.
So I've done this hike before, and I've actually tried out quite a bit for it. But I've
Never
yet
made
to
the cut.
have yet to find the correct role for me to really fit into. You know, looking for a fatherly figure, like 1940s style, very strict.
We know Austin's
Yeah.
taste.
Now you know my
in the
preference.
paste. All right.
Anyways, this hike's easy. It's fun. Goes through farmland, but I didn't realize that from like February until July, there's a lower section of it, and I mean lower section is it's like a lower loop that you can do, and then there's the upper loop that goes up to the viewpoint.
Nice.
So two different, but lower loop during February to July is for peregrine falcon nesting, and so I'm going up there with a friend, and she's like, we can't do the hike, and I was like, oh no, that's just the lower loop. And she's like, okay, so we can still do the hike. I was like, yeah, but I'm gonna steal a bunch of peregrine falcons.
Yeah.
I'm making my pets. Because
I mean,
peregrine
cages
falcons
work,
are
man.
dope, and they go over like 200 fucking kilometers an hour when they're diving and killing animals. So why would I not want to take like 5 or 8 baby peregrine falcons home and train them to be my pets?
Huh.
I mean, I was just
Why
gonna
not?
say, make sure you
That's
have a good
actually-
camera to get good pictures. But if you want
yeah.
to steal some, go ahead.
They're too fast. Yeah, sell 'em.
That's genius. That's
No,
fucking
it was great. I think what's funny is that when we were out there, it was scheduled to like weather, and everybody's always like, oh, you know, like Northwest weather, like Washington, Oregon, California. Well, fuck California actually, because their weather's always sunny. Like it's very predictable. But Washington, Oregon, Idaho, like they see something on the weather forecast, and people believe that is what the weather is going to be. And that's very not true. I mean, it could fucking change in an instant. You know why? Because that's just how the Northwest is. You know, like we have coastal lines, we have
You
major
can still get an
wind
estimate of
systems.
like, I mean, like,
Dude, you can guess, but you know how many times it said like it's gonna snow.
That's why they
it's gonna
say
be pissing
for-
rain. And halfway through the day,
Yep.
a huge wind system just blows it all away, and it's all clear. And people are like, "Oh, well, what do you know? It's just Washington."
Right. It's
Yeah.
just walk. Yeah, I hear that all the time. But the only time I do pay attention to the weather, like actually believe it, I guess, is during this time, more like earlier back, more springtime, because I'm like, is it gonna be hot? Is it gonna be fucking 75 today, or is it gonna be like 60 and rainy? And usually, you know, if they're like,
What's wrong with 60 and rainy?
Nothing. I fucking
Exactly.
love it. I love 60.
Yeah.
That
but,
smell of concrete
but-
when there's rain
Oh,
on it. At 60
yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah, man.
love that.
That's
oh
great.
my gosh. You know, I was just talking about like Washington. I would never leave it. Have you guys ever had your own slab of? I have my own slab of pavement out in the back. That just
Baby.
When you turn 18,
It's personalized.
Son, I just want you to get your own slab paper.
I can even put special seasoning on it, and it will smell different on different
Man.
kinds of rains.
No, but we do have to fulfill something that we left hanging there with our listeners. We do have to touch back on something. Taylor,
Yes.
do you have some shit to tell us about some global? I'm sorry, it's not global. What's it? Climate change. Do you have
Climate
some shit to tell us about
change.
climate change?
Okay, what I think about climate change is all these hardcore environmentalists need to calm the fuck down. Not necessarily because I don't believe in climate change, but because I don't think you can have enough hope to change everyone's perspective on what they're gonna do in their day in and day out life.
Yeah.
That will make those small impacts to change it for the good.
Mm-hmm.
There are too many people.
Stand up.
Way too many people. It's almost about 8 billion, 8 trillion. What is it?
On the planet,
Yes,
7 billion.
7 billion. Thank you, Lloyd.
Right, or is it 7.5?
No,
It's like 7.3, 7.3, 7.4.
God.
Yeah,
So,
no,
put
it's
a fucking nail
7
back
billion,
to my head.
but is it 7 point what something now? I mean, I remember hearing that it was 7 billion. Knowing, looking it up, that was probably. I don't know.
I remember it reaching 4 billion was that. I don't think
7.6 billion.
7.6. I knew it was about 7.5ish now. That's okay. So to continue your points, 7.5 billion.
Yes. Too many people overall. Now, what happens with too many people? Like, what I learned in 8th grade, like, ecology class, was that during evolution, a mammal will get smaller depending on how small their environment gets.
Mm-hmm.
Humans are way past that point. It is not It's not natural for us to live in apartments in big cities like Seattle or Los Angeles, Denver. It's not natural for humans, I think, to live in like 50-store apartments.
But it's natural for us now.
it's not natural.
I don't think
for
it's
us,
natural
period.
whatsoever.
Okay, I agree with that 1,000%.
And luckily, I'm
That
actually
doesn't
glad
exist.
for the cities because if everyone had the land dispersed evenly, we wouldn't have any fucking land. So stay in the city if you want.
Yeah.
That's your decision.
Have you guys seen that graph? It's like a video of this graph where it shows the world population growing.
No, I haven't seen it.
You guys have to see this. You guys have to see it. So we are gonna take a shorter break. Right now we are just about 23 minutes into the podcast, and we are gonna bring you, listeners, some good shit coming up right here. But we are gonna go ahead and take a break, and we'll make sure we watch this video on the podcast. But right now is a good moment to go ahead and just stand by now, and we'll be coming back now, back after this little break. We're back now. Just to let you know, this is Pacific Experience, and we're so happy you're tuning in.
Not PacX.
I think we should change it.
PacX. It might.
PacX.
Pornhub has a good category for PacX.
That doesn't. I haven't checked that one out yet.
A lot of outreach.
Thank you for tuning in. This
Pacific
is PacX.
Experience.
We'll be back after the break. And we are back. We are back from the break. Thank you everyone for tuning back in. Pacific Experience, or PacX, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
You're just having a fucking hard time with that today. God damn, man.
I did it on... No, I didn't mess it up that time. I called her. I said it right. But anyways, Pacific Experience
Still
is
sound a
with
little
you.
bit like PacX.
We're all just slurring a little bit. We've had
We
quite a
enjoy it,
few
dude.
days.
This is how we live our lives.
This is exactly how we live our lives. This is exactly the experience that we have up here in the Pacific Northwest. And we're here to share these experiences with you. And we would love for you to share those experiences with us. But we do have a video to check out real quick. So Austin, Taylor, you guys have not seen this video?
No, I have not.
This one right here.
Deals with population. I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, human population. So we were speaking about the climate change. I asked you about it, Taylor. You were going on, and then you mentioned the population. We talked about it. We looked it up. Oh, it's a 7.6, and that kind of tangent off to where we are now. You guys gotta watch this. Check this shit out.
For sure. Hold down.
Bunch of animals. American Museum of Natural History.
Population.
Modern humans evolved in Africa about 200,000 years ago. About 100,000 years ago, we began migrating across the globe. Oh, there's a timer down there.
Isn't it amazing we can
Isn't
figure
that-
out that
so-
kind of information?
So watch how
Our population remained low, probably less than 1 million people.
less than 1 million people for that long, dude.
Yeah, I was
Look
about
at
to
that.
say.
We're almost
We're
we're
going into-
90,000 years.
The advent of farming growth picked
Agriculture.
up by 81.
Just
World
our-
population reached approximately 170 million people.
Boom with farming. That's insane.
Yeah, sustainability. We're nomadic, but you understand where to get food if you rotate.
Right. Here,
Imagine all the
AD
things.
So 81 1 million. Go ahead and hit the lights so you guys can see it better.
Thank you, Wendell.
Wow.
Your toes come up.
That was a really light. For all you listeners out there, Lloyd just ate shit.
So, it's approaching different years. We're at AD 200. We're at 182 million people, but showing where we go. It's showing also right now what there's Silk Road, Roman Empire. Oh, okay, I see. So it's showing
isn't
sort of
that-
like
isn't that
different
awesome?
powers. Fuck yeah. How's your toe?
Ah, it's my knee.
Destroyed.
Ah, it's good.
That's incredible.
So,
a lot of it's
yeah,
in the
Roman
Middle East.
Empire.
A lot of
So
it.
you guys see the timer down there though? So right now the year is what? 580.
80.
Yeah.
Peak of Mayan civilization, but there's nothing in the United States.
Yeah, what's interesting
Oh no, there's
is
one
that.
thing. Look at that. It's in
Yeah.
right there in like what? San Diego. Not
What's
even-
interesting is like it seems as if from the start population just started in Asia and it's still like that to this day.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Very
out
sure.
there.
So look at this now. It just keeps growing. But notice that the rate, so the time frame down there is the same. It's consistent. So the real time we're watching these yellow dots pop up on the gunpowder event. So the way we watch these yellow dots pop up on the screen is
It's a very good
real
visual.
time. Yeah, exactly. Of as time progresses.
Right, and seeing this, you can only think like it's
Oh,
been
Jesus.
booming
Now
like
it's just
recent
fucking
centuries compared to
rolling.
this.
Boom! Navigation, compass. The navigational compass invented around the year 1080.
Yep. Interesting. It's just
Mongol
never gonna
Empire.
stop, man. It's never gonna stop.
But what the main point of this, yes, is watch this graph. So this isn't the time frame that you're watching.
What's funny is that
how fast you're seeing it go is
so
is
this
consistent.
is yeah.
Boom, the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
Watch it dip down a little. It's ever so slightly, but it dips
Yeah.
down. Did you see it dip down?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Rare decline in world population. Did you see the human population ticker up there?
It went from like 380 back to 340.
Boom. Now watch this. So this is still the same time. Do you guys see these yellow dots, which represent what? 1 million people? How they're just popping like popcorn now? It's literally like popcorn. Pop.
But
Pop,
dude,
pop,
it's
but
all in
Around
the,
second was
1500,
1,000 years.
1600. Yeah.
it's all in the Middle East.
We need a plague.
Yeah. Thank God, Dwight Schrute.
Do you guys see the graph down there at the bottom? Industrial Revolution starts in the 1800s.
Mm-hmm. Oof. And then look how it takes like clockwork.
Look at it.
At that point, in
1.3
billions.
billion.
In billions.
That's it. Right before 1900, okay?
Seattle,
1.7 billion. The world wars. It goes down a little bit, but it doesn't. It just takes a quick little Look at that. Very close. Look at this. It's going! It's climbing!
Nuts.
It's 7.
Projected at
9.5 billion!
Nuts.
Projected in what year?
2100.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so it's like
Leveling off. If current
Oh.
trends continue, global population will peak 11 billion around 2100.
So it's from what year? Just started fucking 1950.
See, everyone who's scared
No.
about this though, as soon as they see that statistic, 2100, their butthole loosens because they go, oh, I won't be alive. Not my problem, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a huge. I don't know.
So this is just a coin flip. If fertility rates predict as they go, it could
Yeah.
either be lower, or if they don't go as they predicted, it could be doubly higher.
Yes, essentially. So I wanted to throw that in there to tie back into what you were talking about, Taylor.
Yeah.
Just to point out. Now, I think just knowing that fact, watching that video, and by the way, listeners, go check that out. It's human population. Whoa, that's in the way. Human population through time video on YouTube. Highly recommend it. Check it out. So I think it's important to be aware of this video and be aware of that's the way that human population is growing through an outside scale. And the best analogy I can think of, if you don't have a visual on it, is imagine that you have a bag of popcorn. The bag of popcorn is the planet, and each little bead of popcorn represents 1 million people. Well, every second in the microwave represents 1,000 years. And so at first it goes pop, 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 and eventually pop, 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 where everything's just popping, where it sounds like a fucking machine gun, and everything's just pop, 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 and the popcorn bag just fills up. That's the best analogy to compare the video.
Yeah.
So knowing that fact, and to continue to this concern about climate change, and what we were talking about earlier about people being divided and how everyone's just bitching about shit, and everyone's so upset about something, and people wake up in the morning and they're like, what am I going to go bitch about today? I can't find anything to be pissed off about. Let me go to my phone. Let's go find something there. Knowing that that's the way all this is going. What in the fuck is really going on with climate change, and what does it mean, and what is the truth about it? What do you think, Taylor?
We have to accept the things that we can't change, dude. For example, cars.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Tons
whoa,
of
whoa,
carbon
whoa, whoa,
monoxide, dude.
whoa, whoa. I'm just kidding. But really, cars?
Cars!
That was such a big explanation.
Conspiracy, no cars, man.
Dude,
just kidding.
no,
But-
don't get me. I'm pumped about cars. The change of cars, like, absolutely. What do you mean? The things that we can't change.
Everyone,
people can go.
cars
buy
are
fucking
invented so
hybrids.
people can be driving them. They're gonna create pollution. That's a given. It's already done.
Shouldn't
The
we-
deed is done.
Don't you think
There are
that
other
it's
things
2018 though? Don't you think we should be past cars right now? Don't you think we should be past like my check fucking engine
No,
light is
I
on,
totally
I need to go
agree.
spend $500 for a mechanic to put in a code reader to tell me what's wrong with it? Don't you think we're past that? We at least not we aren't obviously, but don't you think we should be? Is what I meant.
People are smart enough for that kind of technology to change things to
No,
make it better for the
I
environment.
I
You
disagree.
can send people
People
in a
are
rover
smart
to
enough, Taylor,
Mars.
but there's too many inventions out there that get patents that get seized. That get these. I'm sorry, I'm exploding on here, but
No, you're good.
it's the because that's something
Spewing everywhere, dude.
That's something
Goddamn.
I'm sorry, guys. That's a mindset, not a mindset. That's just something I have to at least swing at, hit or miss, whether I hit it or miss it. But
Wiffle ball
Dude.
at it.
well, okay, yeah, we'll wiffle ball. Okay,
He's
whatever.
that big orange home
That
run
way,
bat.
I don't
in
hurt
wiffle ball.
myself. I don't hurt anyone else in the process because it's just a big plastic orange
I'm
ball
really
fucking
curious.
bat, right?
I'm really curious.
No, the
What are you
oil
doing?
Okay, who owns all the banks, right? Because our war is now about religion. No, wars are now banker wars, right? It's not about religion and because we care about. No, it is to the people fighting it, but the ones who were behind the whatever. It's because we need money, right?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Bigger chess game being
Okay,
played.
we need to have a rule. You need to be, or at least be aware. you need to at least agree with that. I call it a theory. It's not a fucking theory. It's truth. Looking at 9/11, looking at all the movies where there's oil everywhere. I mean, it's not a conspiracy. We went to Iraq for oil, did we not? If you don't think that, why do we go there for oil? Then oil prices go. I mean, it's, you know what I mean. It's just,
everything's big business. I mean, that's no big surprise. It's either you pick your poison, big business or big government. Which one do you want?
Exactly. Big business. I agree, and that's all that it comes down to, is those two things.
Yeah.
Big business or big government. I absolutely agree. But you have the main oil companies, Chevron, right? I can't fucking name them. Whatever, Chevron and the Shell, all these guys. Guess who? Those four happen to also be the 4 banks of the fucking world, right?
Only those 4, yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Only those 4. Okay, so they're pretty much controlling everything. By the way, and guess what? If they're not in control, which I can believe, then someone's controlling them. Right? Nah, that person or that oligarch or that whatever is in control of everything. But the point being is that there's the documentary / book too, called, not a documentary, it was actually only a book, it was called Who Killed the Electric Car. Have you guys heard of it? Who Killed the Electric Car? Well, basically, in a nutshell, talks about George Bush killing the electric car. George Bush coming to power, the big 9/11 happening, right, in 2001. Okay? There were inventions for cars to run electrically, no oil, at the same amount of speed and horsepower that we have now. How is the energy for this vehicle obtained and carried through charging? Shit that Tesla's doing today is not new. I love Tesla. I own some shares of Tesla even because just to support, just to say I can, just to say I can, because I'm so excited behind the idea of Tesla, right? Because I believe in the change. So, but I love Tesla, but what they're doing is not fucking new. What Tesla's doing is new, but the idea of an electric car is not new. Now,
And
Tesla
they're just not
is
pursuing it. You're
Tesla,
saying like George Bush or something you mentioned there, right?
Yeah,
So
George Bush killed it.
Didn't
George
decide
Bush
to
killed
pursue it, even though
Right.
they had the technology now.
How did he kill it? He swatted the patent and invention for it, and he wasn't the first one to do it either, and he wasn't the last person to do it. And what happened after he did that? Well, we went to Iraq and got all this oil, and oil prices went up, and we need oil, we need coal. We are past oil and coal. We should be. There's been inventions for it. It's hidden. I'll show you a video on YouTube. I will. As soon as we end this, I'll show you a video on YouTube, and it's this guy, and it's like the year's like 1990 fucking something, and he shows how his car is running off water. Pure water. His fucking like 1995 Ford something, and he fucked with the engine, just Mr. Dill Pickles from the fucking Rugrats, just thinking away in his garage. I kid you, I'll show you the video. Okay, I'll post the video, by the way, on the PacX Facebook. I'll just so you listeners there can believe me, you can go see it for yourself.
Running it off of water.
Right. The guy, commits suicide, right? I don't know. A year later, do you guys think that's real or not? Bull fucking shit. It's shared on the news. It's on like fucking NBC or something. Just and Mr. So and So today. Look, check this out. Just like awesome when I told you about the guy who would boil his water with sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, same shit, dude. Same shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, sound is an element.
Yeah.
We have earth, fire, wind, water. Sound is the equivalent of earth, wind, fire, water. Mm-hmm. It's the equivalent. I'm telling you, that's a whole other rabbit hole we can go down later on.
It's an entire just movement wavelength.
It can move things. You can communicate through it. It's insane what sound is. That's another rabbit hole to dive down.
It's vibration, it is a whole another element.
Exactly, but
it's feeling.
We can go on and on. But to go back to the cars, right? The coals, the wars, all that shit. Right now, we should be past that. We are smart enough as a civilization. We know. Look at right now. I'm driving a piece of shit that I've dumped, honestly, hundreds of thousands of dollars with my own knuckles. Me doing it, not putting any mechanics. I don't know. I didn't know shit about cars 5 years ago. I'm pretty fucking good right now with cars. Give me your car. I've had tons of friends bring cars in here, give me a 6-pack, and it leaves that night fixed because they get me drunk and I fix their car. Why? Because I was forced to learn this. I don't like working on cars. I think it hurts. I'm annoyed. I have other better shit to do. Whatever. But you know what? I do it because I have to.
Yeah,
and I don't want
survival skill because it's a transportation.
Necessity. I like working on my yard. I like doing that shit because I have to. I don't mind that. But the car thing, I fucking hate it. That's why I want to get a Tesla. That's why I'm about to spend money on an electric hybrid. Me. It's sure, make fun of me. It's funny. I'm not rocking it like it's cool. But guess what? It's fucking logical. I'm not gonna be breaking my knuckles. I'm gonna be saving money on gas, and I'm helping the environment. And I'm gonna be sniffing my own farts in the car too with the windows up. So you know what? Fuck everyone else.
I have a question for you about electric cars when it comes to the environment. Have you ever heard
I don't know
about?
if it's actually helping the environment or not, but if people say it is, then whatever. Then
It's gotta be.
the placebo effect. Then I think I'm helping the
anything
environment.
though. That's just what I'm saying though. Like if you were to switch to an electric car from a gas car, like anything, is probably going to end up hurting the environment one way or another because it's man-made or whatever.
Of course.
So electric
Mine
cars,
might still want
right?
like a nice gnarly fucking badass fucking muscle car or something, of course.
Yeah.
But I gotta
Old
get some cheap.
1960s
I gotta get this
Chevy.
shit now so I can save my
Yeah.
money to get it later. Yes, why not?
Oh, cherry red.
I'll take a 67, 67 guy, maroon Camaro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Black ass fucking tint, dark windows.
Nice.
That's what I'd like to ride. But Taylor, that's something I apologize because I just came out and I had to come out that.
Oh, you're
Austin,
fine.
you're over there just petting the
need
beard.
to
Yeah,
Petting
dude.
the beard.
It's
I'm
a
over here
whole-
just
whole
rambling.
spewing of knowledge that I'm
Petting
just sitting
the beard.
here.
What do you think, man? What do you think about that? I know you got some knowledge in there.
Well, opinion on it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're talking about global warming first off, and then we were talking about like people that control the world. And I think that global warming is caused by humans. People can argue that there's cycles in the planet, which there are, but then if you take a natural cycle and then you add like a secondary
Right.
outside force to
Yeah.
speed it up, that's definitely our fault. You can't say that
I agree with that.
say that the primary source is speeding up. That we're definitely adding to the process being faster.
Do you think
Ocean
we're
ocean
warming
levels are fucking I think are a good cause of that. I mean, people want to talk about ice ages and whatnot, but we have records of how those things fluctuated, and here we are, and we're having huge amounts of ice melting off of Antarctica. And when you have huge ice shelves that are hundreds of feet tall and miles wide, and you're having miles of it break off and melt, and like that's not fucking natural. That's rapid growth. It's ignorant and lazy. And we're talking about also like, and I think a really easy example is like Uber and Lyft. So the whole point of those companies were that, we can get people to drive people around. If people don't want to use public transit, it's less people driving their cars. Well, it's actually more people are driving their cars to work for Uber and Lyft. So it's actually been a counter, intuitive thing to where these companies were started this will get less people off the road. No, it's created more people on the road because now more people want to have a second job and do this. And it all comes down to just being lazy. We're in the United States, the Western world. Fucking food is at our fingertips 24/7. Joe Rogan made a funny comment. Even Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace, fucking great man.
Yeah.
They made jokes about how only people in Western culture can talk about being vegetarians and being vegans because you have all this access to food, so you can fucking pick what you want to eat. Whereas in other parts of the country, you eat to survive. Right. Here, eating, you can pick and choose for your lifestyle, and they saw that as somewhat of not an insult, but it is dude. You're so fucking lucky. Regardless if you want to eat McDonald's all the time or you want to eat fucking plants and then berate other people for it, some people don't have that opportunity. Period.
True, that's a very true point to those people out there who were.
But I think it comes down to laziness. The global warming is due to laziness. We all have solutions to these problems. We know how we're polluting the earth. We know that we use way too much plastic.
Do you think it's laziness, or
it is fucking laziness.
I mean, it is. It is laziness.
Absolutely.
But or is it?
We have all the information, dude.
Is it also selfishness too? Because I think
you can find the most backwoods inbred people.
We can prevent this shit, dude. We have the ability to recycle, to renew.
That's what I'm saying. It just comes down to laziness.
I don't think that it's lazy.
It is.
I think that it's
it
not
is fucking laziness.
It's not profitable to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not profitable to save the planet. Why should I spend my millions of dollars on my company? But I know about, and speaking in terms of the big whatever oligarch, the
But
top
then that's what I'm
fucking
talking about.
dude,
So
the
we're talking about
Illuminati.
we're talking about like big corporations that control the world.
Right, like to
So
them,
you realize
why
that
save the
today,
fucking planet?
you realize today that AT&T got approved for their
The merger with,
yeah,
Time Warner
one of the
or whatever.
biggest fucking
Yeah.
mergers in business history.
Yeah, yeah.
For a bunch. That's the whole thing is corporate consolidation. That's the whole thing is that you have main people controlling subsidiaries.
That's bigger
that
news than the fucking
people
volcano erupting
don't
in
understand
fucking
is that like, oh yeah, like, you know, it'd be like if people were buying where Trader Joe's and Whole Foods Market and all these organic markets they thought was actually controlled by McDonald's, but they didn't know that. Like, it's that type of like subsidy shit.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's
I've
just
read
it's
stories
just
about, like, in-
circle jerk, man, of all the top guys.
But that's what I'm saying,
Just
like,
with their fucking
everyone,
alien
yeah.
friends are like, dude, we'll show you the way.
Dude, I mean,
we're on Mars.
it's-
you can come
it's
kick it
lazy
with us.
because people don't
just get
wanna-
all the oil we need, please, and just keep your humans on the fucking
Ride
planet.
fucking bicycles,
good.
dude. There's an Instagram page I follow called Weird History, and in the 1900s,
That sounds amazing.
Dude, it's
I have
great.
a book right here called Weird History.
it's some stoner page shit.
Strange history. I'm sorry.
But on this page, they talked about this guy posted a post a couple days ago about what there was a little page about what people in the 1900s they would ask in 100 years. What do you think the year 2000 will be like? You know what they envisioned? They envisioned that we would be
I'm scared.
we would be riding across lakes with like hot air balloons attached to our like backs, so we could like walk across water. So like quite literally, it's very like
That
primitive
actually makes
looking,
sense.
but literally think of like
To them,
snowshoes
yeah.
on your feet with a hot air balloon attached to your
Yeah.
back. You riding
Yeah.
a bike, like
They're thinking of being able to go anywhere and any time and as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
dude. And that's what's
what they're
funny is you
thinking.
look at that time period, and it's very simple. Now, because now what like what are we doing now in the year 2000?
doing
But
this
the
traffic.
main funny point was that prior to this page, his caption beneath this picture post was like, "We've gone the wrong way." And yeah, dude, we've made things more complicated. We're way too smart for our own good. So it's like being so smart and having all this knowledge, it makes people even fucking dumber. Dude, it makes people
Yeah.
fucking ignorant. And it's really
It does.
obnoxious because you have people that are like, I just want to believe what I want to believe. And it's like, awesome, that's cool. But when it's detrimental to society, maybe there should be a consequence. Maybe the consequence, like in natural law, you just don't live. If you're going to be a stupid fucking animal,
Right.
and a predator's going to kill you because you're thinking like, the herd's running this way, but I really want to go off on my own because
Yeah.
I don't think they're
Yeah.
running the right way. It's like, cool, you know
I have
Yeah.
social anxiety, so I can't be around you guys right now.
Exactly. You end up fucking dead. You end up shit from a predator.
This animal is 10 times bigger than me, but I'm going to show it my teeth.
I watch a lot of Vice News stuff. It doesn't mean base my opinions off, but
What is
there was
that? What? Vice News?
Vice News. It's
Okay.
out of HBO, but on YouTube they have a bunch of little short episodes, and there's a short 2-part thing about the shark hunters of Japan. And it's interesting
That
because
just immediately sounds fucking badass as fuck. Sorry,
Well,
continue.
so these fishermen in Japan hunt snapper and all these different fish, and the reason they've become shark hunters, or they're called, this episode is called this, is because as they're fishing for this fish, the shark are eating their fish as they're pulling their catch up. So basically, their way of living is being compromised by an apex predator in an environment that they're not attuned to. So then
Yeah.
their way that they deal with this is one time a year. It's Shark Extermination Day. So they take out they take harpoons
Yeah.
and they're allowed to kill sharks. And look, and some of these boats will kill
Yeah, I think
80.
I've heard about that.
Man.
They'll kill 80 to 100 sharks a day, and that's just like one boat.
Yeah.
So multiple boats doing this, and I think that's the oddest, like most fucked up thing is that here we are, we're a smarter species, and yet this is so rudimentary. Like it's following the natural path of its animal kingdom ecosystem, and then
Yeah.
here we are being like,
We're gonna alter
well,
that.
this is where I make my living, and then here you are taking away from it, and that's just how it goes. But I have the technology capability to literally just eliminate you,
Yeah.
so I can make as much, like, get my quarry. But like
It's in very much control.
That's such a drastic thing. That's such a radical thing to do. It'd be like the equivalent of like, people wanting to hunt deer, but then they realize like, oh, cougar and bears kill deer also, so we're just gonna hunt cougars and bears relentlessly for a whole day, so we can make them. It's just like it's absolutely fucking benign, and it just creates a plethora of problems simply because it's like we're not like. Dude, we're not down there swimming in there. It's like the ocean, like the salt, like being underwater is just not where we belong. Dude, it's zero gravity. We move slow. We are very vulnerable. We're already like soft, squishy sacks.
You keep saying that. I've actually gotten some feedback. Someone loved how you said we're the mites on the ball sack of Earth.
Honestly, dude, like we have so much parasitic value for how like when we defend ourselves, and it's something I think about all the time when I go hiking. It's just like there's a reason I hike with a tomahawk and other things. It's like if something else that is equipped to kill me is gonna like try and kill me, I at least want to have some sort of level playing field, because honestly the majority of people don't get attacked by wild animals that often. It's the same thing with like out in the ocean and sharks and all this bullshit. You just hear all these horror stories, but it's very unlikely. But it just it was so odd to me, and it was just realization to see that we've surpassed this sort of like natural order where we can be really dumb, but we already have these tools that are used that make us superior in terms of like how we can eliminate things, and that's what it does. Like that's why
our inventions, our inventions evolutionized.
Well, we were watching on there like the bubonic plague. Yeah. I mean, there's viruses, flu viruses have been getting worse and worse every single year, and it's because we're reusing same sort of antibiotics, medicines, bacteria to try and fight this, and it's just becoming immune to it and stronger.
Yeah, eventually we're just gonna die out.
And that's what I feel like that's what's deserved. Is like when you become so accustomed to having all this stuff at your disposal, but you're not being exposed to the raw natural things in this environment, like you develop weaknesses. Not only that, but like you continue to like, we're just going to create more antibiotics than allowing us. I'm not saying allowing us to be exposed to fucking very harmful shit, but like all these vaccinations, like I'm not saying don't get your kid ever vaccinated, but dude, I have not gotten a flu shot since I was like 10 years old. I eat pretty healthy. I like, meaning like I don't eat a whole lot of fast food. I don't eat a whole lot of sugar. Dude, I drink beer, but beer has a lot of microflora, has a lot of different like yeast. It's got like all this different like microorganisms that you use to create alcohol. It's in my system. But granted, I don't over abuse it. Like I'm not sitting here getting drunk all the fucking day.
I could vouch for that.
But
absolutely, yeah.
Like when you're allowing people to be exposed, or allowing your kid to like eat dirt, like kids to be kids, like get hurt and deal with it themselves, and you just coddle them and you buffer everything, like you basically create something that is super exposed to everything in the world. And I think vaccines can definitely be one of that. Like flu's been fucking rampant. It gets worse every single year, and they've actually talked about how we're running out of like antibiotics and vaccinations, and that comes from and stems from the things in the natural environment. Like they literally look in caves, they look in rainforests, like they look at all these the basic organism, like whether it's plants or germs, but they're having a harder time finding these because the environment's changing. And that's when you're talking about earlier in that little snippet, like would you choose environment over people? I'd definitely choose environment. Dude, this thing's gonna live far beyond us. We can fucking fuck it up all we fucking want.
I choose environment too, man.
Honestly, dude, like this landscape is not gonna care, and it already shows that, dude. Like super volcanoes, like Yellowstone.
I gotta say though, if you guys
have a poll and ask people, environment or people, you choose environment.
I choose people. I'm sorry.
Sarah chooses people.
Now here's the question I got for both of you. Both of you guys just said environment, correct?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have two children.
There you go. What does he choose, actually? Humanity. Of course. You want to reproduce. It's natural for any human to want to fucking reproduce.
Environment.
And people are just going to keep doing it, unfortunately. And everyone wants to say in their heart, yeah, I want to choose environment.
But it's not.
I wanna do what's good
It's
for
not
you.
out of necessity though anymore. It's not at all.
No, it is
people,
exactly.
People,
'cause we
people
have-
choose to be.
What can you do about it though? You're saying you choose environment. What are you going to do about it then? So say I choose environment. You say people. What are you doing about it then? Right? What's in your control? Right? Yeah. Not everyone can be Leo and go rally everyone and and do what he did. Not everyone necessarily can do that, but you can always do something. What is it you can do? I mean, do we know what helps and what doesn't help? It's still such a
showing by
question.
that graph video you showed us of the population growing. I have to say that we can have hope that people will change, and what it really comes down to is day in and day out things that you do that will impact your surroundings.
Yeah.
I think by the way that graph's going, we can have hope for that, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Never,
there are
ever.
too many people. I think
We're lazy
I think
as
it
shit,
can, I think
dude.
the answer can be
Yeah.
as simple as that. There's too much humanity, too
Why do
many
you
different
choose people?
personalities, too many different lifestyles, and too much production of
I
plastic going on. Fun fact, according to National Geographic, more than half of the plastic ever made has been made in the past only 15 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
15 years.
I believe that.
There are 18 billion pounds of plastic going into the ocean each year.
Yep.
I mean,
That's crazy.
there's
That was one of those.
so many people.
It's just
Plastic's
lazy too.
You know what's crazy
People
about
are
plastic?
lazy, man.
There's so many different alternatives. So many different alternatives,
There are.
but they won't do it. It's just
But
cheaper for
it's
everyone.
not
Big business,
profitable.
right? Exactly.
Everything's about being profitable. But Taylor, you say you choose people like. Just think we like. Think Mars was Earth, and we just
'Cause-
fucking billions, trillion. No, not billion. Trillions of years ago, we're like, well, it's fucked. But you know what? That's what we were saving Earth for. We bought the insurance planet from the galactic guys. God said it's a good idea, and
Sales tax.
yeah, but and so we have Earth. We're gonna go to Earth, but the downfall is we get to start over. Actually, we're not starting over. We're gonna create some other species called humans. We're gonna leave them
But
there
that's
to
it
work
for
for
it.
us, and then we're gonna just leave them there and just fucking see.
Yeah,
what
I mean,
fucking
like, you
goes
We'll
with
see
them.
what happens.
You can
Yeah.
you can think that we're resilient, and yeah, I would say we're obviously. I think we're just a parasite. Like I think we're resilient as shit. That's why we. If
You
we're
think,
here,
you think we're a parasite? Then why? That's crazy because
we are a
honestly,
fucking
I question,
parasite.
I agree with that. I think we're. I don't know, man.
People
because-
take parasite as negatively, but what I'm saying is parasite as we are able to survive because we solely feed for ourselves.
I think we are the Earth, though, man. Like, I don't know. You look at these cans. Like that's not Earth, but like we made that. And
Exactly.
I think that like we are Earth. Like the
We can be in tune
our
to it.
cells attuned to
But
it.
we're talking about survival. Earlier we were even talking about like you have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like people had kids back early on because they needed kids to build their community, to survive, to actually like
Yeah, I'm not doing
preclude
it to
humanity.
survive. I
Here,
guess
like
I'm doing it to
here,
survive,
having
but
fucking
not
kids is like a luxury.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
taxes. The more kids you have, the better tax cut you get. Like it's literally like it's an accommodation because you know what? Like we don't have disease. We don't have like we have all these things that are prevented because we have hygiene, we have healthcare, we have good food. We have all these things that are accessed. Whereas other countries where it isn't. I mean, like there's still third world countries where tribes have lots of kids. You know why? Because it keeps their tribe going.
Yeah.
It's not because
Yeah,
they want to, but those are the roles that they play. And
Right.
you know, like it's not at all like I'm all for fucking equality and feminism, all this shit. But like it's one of the things I think about when it's funny to me, where it's like like moms or like women weren't just meant to be like housewives and whatnot. It's like. Well, in third world countries, that's literally the roles because they're the only people that can produce children.
That's just how far that
little-
little mini civilization has gone to where those are the roles of
But that's
the
what I'm
man
saying
and the
is
woman. Who knows
there's
what
such a huge
the roles are
contrast. Like
thousands of
we're
years
all
later.
living on the same fucking rock, and yet
Yeah.
there's different parts that are more advanced, less advanced, and yet
I agree
there
that
is
it's
a
crazy.
basic understanding of survival.
Yeah. That's
Regardless if
crazy.
you're allowed to eat McDonald's and pop out 8 fucking kids and get divorce money and alimony and
Yeah.
live for free and be fat and have disability and do all that, or you know, like you're in the middle of a civil war in South Africa, and you have 10 kids that you're having to shelter across because you're just a different like tribe, and like all that's it. Just like like to me that's such a far difference, but there is some sort of basis connection, and yet like it doesn't make sense. Like you look at the two and you're like, wait a second, none of these add up.
Yeah.
Like why does one make one better than the other, or like what?
We can keep populating though, man. I'm so hippie with the nature.
Yeah, you want to conserve. Everyone does. That's what I'm saying. Everyone wants to say they want to do the right thing.
Oh no, I'm not saying I do the right thing. I am.
No,
you can ask. Okay, my friends make fun of me because they say I get a nature boner. Like, I think honestly, I think when you die, I think you become plants. I think that plants have memories. I think that when we dream, I think our plants are gathering our dreams and like holding onto it. Dude, that fucking project they did with yelling at the plant and the plant didn't grow and it died and the kids complimenting that plant and that plant growing. It is life, right? What's the definition of life? Us, right? Do we not say that there's life in a plant? We do. So there you go. It's right. It's not a conspiracy. It's right there. We've been taught it since first grade.
Yeah.
There's life in a plant. There's life in you.
Yeah.
Guess what? Just like humans, just like plants, in this bush right here, the leaves are going to grow. They're going to die. They're going to fade away. They're going to fall on the ground. They're going to be forgotten. And they're going to fertilize the next leaves. And these leaves are going to grow. And it's going to keep going. And all these leaves will be forgotten. We are leaves too. We're leaves on the earth. We're growing. We're dying. We'll be forgotten. All the shit we're doing doesn't matter. But we are special leaves, like you said, Austin, that are fucking parasite because we have, for some reason, and that's the question of life, free will and the ability to be born and snowball affect our inventions. Be born into our inventions, and then us generations, boom, we're born. I'm born, it's the year 1990, and this is the way the world is. Here's the tools at my disposal. This is the way things are going.
I have made this computer monitor out of earth material. This is how I do that.
That's just,
everything I see is made out of the earth somehow. You know? It's weird.
I don't know, man. I think that the population can keep growing past 7 billion, and I think we're meant to go. I think we know how to alter Earth. I don't think we've discovered it yet. I think we will discover how to alter it in a good way, and I think that when humanity discovers such a power like gunpowder, electricity, currency, having something called currency, having something called money and capitalism. Yeah. I think when humanity discovers that, something Abraham Lincoln used to say is like, it's a great thing. It depends on who's driving it. Who's going to do what with it. It's the same thing with who's behind a gun. A man's going and getting his food. It's a great thing. Protecting his family from the wolves. It's a great thing. A man who wants to go rob the man, protecting his family from the wolves with all the loot and the food. That's a bad thing.
And at the end
it's
of
the same
the day,
thing with us growing on this earth. Like humans are a bad thing. We're a good thing, and that's the mystery to life. Is what does the human choose to be good or bad? And I think that if it's the majority of what we choose together, I think we're supposed to go on Mars, or we can alter it to be a fucking Earth. We can fucking live there. Yes, I'm a fan of Elon Musk, obviously, and we can keep fucking going and planet hopping around. Dude, we're just like fucking beginning. Like Earth is gonna be fucking. People are gonna. I'm telling you, man, like that graph. Imagine that if it kept going for the next 5 minutes, real time. By then, we're off planet Earth. We gotta be, and if we're not, that's a conspiracy, man. Like that we're already not off of there.
I don't believe
we should talk about another episode about the whole leaving Earth thing, because it's.
I don't believe that, man. I don't think we ever will. Honestly, I don't think.
You don't think we ever will? You don't think we'll ever leave Earth? You don't think we'll create a population on another planet?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely could. I mean, we're going.
Come on, people said that about
reaching
that
crossing
scientific
the
ocean and finding this continent.
But,
like just 1,000 years ago.
I hope we're on another planet and people all leave, so then my ancestors can just stay here on Earth and become kings.
True that, because you know what?
I'll keep this goddamn planet with the Jurassic Park dinosaurs.
I get excited about it, but in reality, I fucking love Earth. I can't compare it to anything. I've never been off of the planet. I mean, it is flat, so.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So
Just kidding. Are you guys flat earthers?
Absolutely.
Who isn't flat earther?
Not.
Dude, I was about to say, why are our shoes flat? If the Earth is round, why aren't our shoes round?
Yeah.
I think I might tattoo that on my back or on my feet.
Just tattoo a curved sole of a shoe
Man.
and be like, it's because the earth is round.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we're not like renting out a studio or anything, so we don't like have like a constraint on time. What we do, we have these run around an hour. I don't know. You guys got anything you want to drop? Any points? It's getting late. I don't know about you guys, but I gotta go drag my car that contributes to the earth in a negative manner and go be my role in capitalism.
There you
Go to
go.
work tomorrow.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah.
Oh, especially me. I gotta say hello to all the sailors. Yay!
Yay!
Hello, shit, mate!
Oh, there you go. That's a good one to
gotta
greet
work. Everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We got a little weird at the beginning of that episode.
Yeah, I like this
love
weird
it.
little fun episode.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too. But everyone, send us your feedback, please. Please, please send us what's going on. You can contact us at Pacific, and I'm gonna spell it XPERIENCE. That's Pacific Experience without the E and experience. At gmail.com, pacificexperience@gmail.com. You can also tag us on Facebook at PacX Podcast. Mainly listen to us on Podbean. That's pacificexperience.podbean, bean as in Jack and the Beanstalk, podbean.com, and check us
Green
out.
beans!
Main thing, last thing I ask, guys, we're asking for a little bit of help. We're trying to move forward and get on some bigger platforms. We're just about to do so, but we need your help. We need your help by giving us a thumbs up, giving us those 5 stars on whatever app it may be, even on YouTube. We're on YouTube as well. Help us get a little bit further and get some more interesting people on the show so we can talk to them and learn some more things and discover and share our Pacific experiences with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is PacX. What?